Hey there, I'm your host Lisowi, and this is part 6 of the list style crafting system. In the last episode, we went ahead and started the crafting UI, and in today's episode, we'll finish everything off. So with that said, let's begin. Let's go ahead and open up the content drawer, the crafting UI, and we'll start by creating a widget for the crafting view, wb_crafting view. Let's open that. Inside, we'll add in a canvas panel, and it's optional to add the inventory. I just want to see the items getting removed. So we'll add this in. Size to content, 100 on the X, and I'll move it on the left-hand side. Put this in again. And there we go. Now, for the crafting view, what we can do is we can go ahead and open up the inventory UI and steal actually all of this from the inventory. So copy that, paste it on the canvas, anchor it to your right-hand side, and do -100 on the X. And for size X, we'll do 900 by 800. And there we go. Most of that's almost done. We'll remove the wrap box. The title will make not variable, and we'll just say crafting. And down. In the border, we want to add in a horizontal box. There we go. And that's looking nice. Next, we'll go ahead and add in two borders. Add those in, 1 and 2. And we want to fill that out. Now for the color, I have one saved here, so I'll just copy that. Okay. And for content, we'll say 20 padding. And in the middle, I want a spacer. So we'll search for that. Plug it in. And the spacer will be 25 and 0. Let me get something like that. Next then, on the left-hand side with this border, let's just call it dbox_recipes. And inside, I'll add a vertical box. Nope, vertical box. And there we go. We have the padding. I want to add in the text and the border. So we'll do text. What this actually is, we'll do in the center. Padding. Do I want padding? We can leave it as it is for now. We'll just do crafting recipes. And we'll do 10 padding because why not? And with that, I want to add in a border at the bottom to kind of divide this area. So we'll add in a border. We'll do 1 and padding we'll do 5. 0.5, I think. 5, 0. There we go. And actually, if we click on those borders, let's not do fill, let's do auto. This one, we should also do auto. It's going to have content inside. So what we'll do is, before we do that, let me just get back into this side. So we've got the text, and I want to then add in a scroll box. So this would be for the recipes. There we go. And we can call it scroll box. And that's fine. We can make it variable as well. So we'll add in the recipes in here. Now for the other side, in here then, we'll add in a widget switcher. We'll add in a canvas panel. There we go. And actually, I can fill this out, right? There we go. We can fill this out better. Widget switcher, I'll call WS. Canvas panel, and we want the recipe. What was it called? Recipe, item recipe. We want this in our widget switcher as well. So we can see how this would look like. And if everything is good to go, we can compile and save that and go to the event graph. In the event graph then, let's go ahead and create a function called isInventory. inventory open. And this function will basically close the inventory if it's open and lock it while interacting with the workbench. So get player character, get component class, inventory component to is valid. So if it's a valid component, we'll promote it to a variable player inventory. Here we go. We have a reference now, and we'll get the widget we have inside. So if this would be valid, convert to a validated get. That means the inventory is open. Go ahead and close it. So toggle not active, toggle inventory. There we go. And we can also do set locked, so we can't open the inventory. There we go. Now let's use this logic on the event construct. This inventory open. And then grab the inventory, do a refresh, and plug in the player inventory. So we've made sure we can't have two inventories open at the same time. Next, let's do a get row, get data table row names. Plug in your craftable items to a for each loop. And for every single one, we want to create a widget, which is the recipe entry. And we don't have a item ID option, so let's open that. And on the event graph, make sure your item ID is instance editable and exposed on spawn. That way we can directly pass in a value here. So let's refresh, pass the value, get the scroll box, add child to the scroll box. And it's always good to clear this first. So let's grab that and clear it, clear children before we start the array. So about here is good. Right, so with all of this done, at the very end, we want to promote this to a variable. So let's do crafting recipe. And let's see, let's do a bind event. No. Oh, not this. We want to promote this to a variable, crafting recipe. And for each one, we want to bind event on recipe clicked. From here, we'll do custom event on recipe clicked. We can create another event here. So custom event, show display recipe. And we can have an input here of name, item ID, and we can call that display recipe here. Beautiful. And at the very start, we can then finish this off. So we'll grab the widget switcher, WS, and we want to set active widget index v1. And we want to then grab the item recipe and do set recipe. We have the item ID from here and the player inventory from here. So there we go. And on event construct, we can always do one more thing called event destruct. So here we'll get the inventory, check if it's valid, and just make sure set is locked to be false again, so we can open the inventory. With that, let's compile and save everything. Oops, what's this? Oh, refresh. That should do it. Compile and save. There we go. So with that all done, let's go ahead and open up the crafting table. So let's create a new actor, open class, call it BP crafting actor. Open it up, add in a static mesh, add in our workbench. There we go. We can also add in a sphere collision to this. Sphere collision. And And on the event graph, if we were to right click on that and do on end overlap, we just want to check if the widget is active. If it is, just remove it. So on functions, let's create a toggle crafting option. Create widget crafting view, promote to a variable, crafting view widget, add it to the viewport. And this happens like we did with the inventory. If this is a valid option, remove it. If it's not valid, create it, and then the reference exists. So remove from parent, set this to be empty. So back in here, if this reference were to be valid, let's go ahead and do toggle crafting. Cool. So that's that. Let's see. Now we also want to go to class settings and make sure this is interactable, like so. And now it is. So at lookat, we can do use curly brackets, name, close curly brackets. Oh, we want to format that. My bad. So we do that in the format. So use curly brackets, name, close curly brackets. And the name we can have here, name text. And if we compile crafting or workbench, work table, whatever you like, plug it in. There we go. And one more thing left to do is to do the interact with. So when we interact, we toggle crafting. And there we go. Let's compile and save. And the big moment of truth. It would be nice if I added this first. So let's do that. And let's hit play and see what happens. We can't. Oh, yes. My bad. So this actually needs to be interactable first. So collision, custom, lock, compile, save, and now there we go. And all of that is working. So let's go ahead and get some more items. So let's say 3 ingots. I'll get 2 sticks. So we should be able to craft the sword anyways. Pick that up. And let's go here. Click on the sword, craft, and it took those items away. Perfect. So this was the list style crafting series. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, leave a like. And as always, happy developing.